Little bit of a delay, but we are live at long last. As Boggs mentioned, on the 51st floor of Vertigo, I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by the aforementioned Boggs. And the pistol round is live. Party Astronauts starting on the CT side of their opponent's map pick. An M80. Keep it simple. Straight towards V is the name of the game. Malbs goes in first. Swisher's the one to find the opener. It's a flurry of kills in either direction, but they end in even footing. 2 versus 2. slaxz backside behind the double boxes. And Reck, where is he lurking? He came up through middle, and he has chopped down Chop. Just Pwn alone in the 1v2. He's on a flank, and they know that's his likely play as well, thanks to that push in middle from Reck. Pwn alone. Can he pull it off? Is there a kit in play?
I don't think so.
I was going to say, I didn't get a chance to see because of how quickly the round transpired, but I have to win this one quickly and cleanly if they want a victory to start things off. Good start with the first, the second spotted, but the duel not so cleanly fought. Pwn desperately looking for it, finds it, time, he had it just about. There's the kit. Okay, there was one.
Does he have it?
He does have it. He definitely has it. No sweat, clean defuse. And that is a big 1v2 for Pwn to find to start things off right for Party Astronauts on Vertigo.
Yeah, a little over-aggression on that initial peak, I think. Just a jiggle would have suited better. But Pwn does not miss those opportunities when he is on, and that's a very good sign for Party Astronauts. Mentioned it in the pre-show, he's a big player for them, and he's somebody who needs to step up in a huge way. That's a good start. That first round picked up. Full FAMAS M4 buy for Party Astronauts, expecting a full force from M80, which is the case. AK, double Galils, Mac 10, Tech 9 utility for Manx, Malbs 0 utility at all on his Galil. Swisher eating a little bit of nade damage as well. Chop is here, and Chop is removed by the aforementioned Swisher Galil. He's charging up to try and get Viz, who peeked over the half wall. He takes a little bit of spam damage and drops the ground. Trade there, Malbs by slaxz. And that's 2 for 1, but a Reck spam down by Ben evens it out. Not quite the bomb, but a Molotov picked up in a 3v3. More importantly for Party Astronauts here, is they're the ones fighting from the back foot, trying to recover this round. The end though, that Molotov telegraphs this potential A hit, and Ben's going to start backing over to group up with his longtime teammate.
Back towards Evan. Trying to throw a Molotov on site to delay the plant, allow for more leisurely rotation. M80 weren't quite attempting that as of yet. Allows this advanced position from Pwn, and over the top, the smoke, he'll find one. Bomb recovered by Swisher. He will re-smoke the cross, but Pwn is still an ever-present menace at the jump up. The nade does lots of damage, but Swisher's even lower than Pwn in spite of that utility. Plant attempted, faked, in fact. Swisher trying to beckon someone through the smoke. Blinded are both, but he still wins a duel, at least finding one. A good trade from slaxz. The new player can't find the second. The AK in his hands is not finding the head. It's Ben Leap this time to get Party Astronauts across the line. They do convert their pistol round to victory, but it was a mighty costly second round to get there.
4 kills on the pistol and the second. Lots of damage dealt by M80. They just can't close it out in the end. This time it's slaxz in the 1v2 and not M80 in the 2v1. But a timeout called by the T's side, and I think it's a good idea because they still have Party Astronauts on the ropes economically. A force buy here is not a horrible idea, particularly considering the fact that the most money anybody on Party Astronauts has left over is 650. They only have 2 rifles, 3 SMGs, quite a bit of utility, sure, but it looks like M80 are going to go for it aggressively here. Galils on 2, Tech 9s on 3. A good amount of utility for them as well, considering they don't have the most money in the world. And M80, despite getting taken down without a bomb plant, they're feeling this one, and I like this call a lot, Nate.
I do as well. They know the economy is still teetering on the verge of bankruptcy due to all the damage they've inflicted. You can still got those Galils. They might even be able to punish 60 as well. 60's been pushing down A ramp alone once contact comes in B, and he is kind of isolated here and now behind the smoke. He's lucky to be alive. He actually dodges them by getting close to the smoke. That's a big one to find. A second and a third, perhaps, for Pwn. does find that those slaxz trades, some good damage done, but M80 still nonetheless find themselves on the back foot. 2 versus 3. They have a pair of smokes, a pair of flashes, a nade, and a Molotov. Decent enough utility. But this flank from Viz puts a clock on this push. They have to get the site quickly. They have to establish a post plant. Otherwise, the flank will do them in.
Maybe fake the plant out towards Cone. Nade will do a little bit on the chop. And they'll actually just go straight for the plant. The Molotov not going to do anything, but the spray from Chop is perfect. Ben with the headshot on a Swisher, and that one falls flat for M80. They will be saving now. I don't know about going straight for the plant there, Nate. I feel like that's a bit over-aggressive in that situation. Try and goad in a push or a spray. Exactly what happened the first time. Maybe just M80 felt rushed, pressured by the potential flank of Viz.
It was an okay plant spot, but they were wise to it. You can tell the spam was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Chop knew exactly what was coming in. The Molotov failed, sure, but the plant wasn't default. Party Astronauts beginning to stabilize with that round. Now facing against Pistols, a half-5 M80. A nice double stack towards B. Yields some early kills for the MP9, but the numbers proved to be insurmountable. malbs on the Deagle finding 1, grabbing an MP9. Hanks as well also found 1. 3 versus 3, but the rifle disparity still firmly putting Party Astronauts ahead of M80. M80 shifting gears again back towards A. Clearing things out, hoping that 6C still playing close. Again, they picked up on that rather early. He was at a one-and-done spot behind a smoke. He was again at a one-and-done spot behind a smoke in the corner by the side hall. Hoping to punish that kind of assertiveness early on in this map. 6C's playing elevator instead. Moved up with his team. Portal on an off angle. Doesn't get the kill. malbs will drop the smoke towards heaven and will try to plant the Molotov. Keeps him from attempting to do so.
Now he'll get it down as the Molotov burns out. 2 M4s on MP9 in Ponalone's hands and utility to fly over. Double elevator side. And Ponalone. CT. 6E. Peeks for a flank. That is not there. The Pistols can hold the line in this sort of a retake scenario. This is not a free round for Party Astronauts, far from. It's going to be very dangerous from them. Ben's just going to go tap the bomb, and actually he's going to hold. Trust his teammates to hold the line. In comes the rush. malbs with 1, but only 1. It's a cleanup crew for PA. Another expensive round. That CT economy is trimmed down once again, but M80. They get most of their rounds on Vertigo on the T side. Nate failing to get anything in terms of an opening so far. Although now we will finally see them on the guns. The op out for Manx. The AKs in hand on everybody. Utility is plentiful. Party Astronauts will have a very similar buy. Only Viz lacking a diffuser. Helmets on everyone but Chop. Not like it matters against the op. But the opper's duel between Ponalone and slaxz can finally commence. Ponalone, 8-2, leading the charge on the server. slaxz is opposite with 6-4 next in line. Looks like the oppers are going to have to try and get it done with the ops instead of the rifles, because that's what's working for them prior.
Yes, sir. Finally entering the rifle rounds, M80. They lose the first rifle without finding a bomb plant, and they have to save again. That's when things get very worrisome, as you mentioned. Rather T-sided on this map. 6C again slinking up the side hall. malbs is ready for it in the smoke. He'll find the kill. That's for free. The second player almost meets the same fate. And lucky to stay alive, but malbs can fall away. Happy with the main advantage. Party Astronauts now finding themselves cleanly on the back foot. M80 still running their defaults. The players down below towards A. They have reck lurking in middle. It looks like they have made a decision, though. Again, going to be A. Chop takes down reck. I mentioned he was lurking. He was towards middle, I believe, in ladder. That is a big one to find. Swisher now taking up his teammate's place. Trying to find something, or at least clear out some space. It is going to be towards A. 3-4 players here. It's a gamble from Party Astronauts, and it's going to pay off. Viz peeking in, looking for the first, finds the player with a nade out. Second one secured. It's actually Chop to find them both. The opera is only good for 1. He can't rechamber quickly enough. The last alive is Swisher. As I mentioned, he was on that flank, taking up reck's stead, and in a 1v3 it seems nigh impossible. Ponalone Shows Swisher an early end, and again, a lost rifle round, no bomb plant. Disastrous start for M80.
And to top it off, that was about the cleanest round Party Astronauts have had. It just keeps getting worse and worse for M80 here on map number 1. Their pick of Vertigo. Party Astronauts are looking so good. Everyone is firing individually. Viz hasn't had to do much, but Poe and Alone, Sixy, Chop, Ben, everyone's playing well. The positioning, the team play, the spacing for Party Astronauts. When they go for these aggressive peaks, there's always two. There's never just one. There's always another. Always two there are. Not going to say Master and Apprentice because these are all equals in the server. But Nate, they are really living up by the rule of two right now, and it is working phenomenally for them. Even in the retakes, they have two, one throw utility, the two go out, the one supporting. It's just really good fundamental CT side Counter-Strike, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Party Astronauts right now. This is bringing it back to the vintage Party Astronauts days a while ago now, and this is the best I've seen this team in a very long time.
They're looking good. Again, this is their opponent's map pick. The last time they played this map, yesterday, these two teams, it was a very tight and contentious 13-11 in favor of M80. Sixy peeking over top smoke, drops malbs. A second one is spotted as well. He won't overstay his welcome. He's done his job. Let's continue to harass with utility and try to goad players into this duel with the player Sandbags to support Manx. A good one to find. He's still weary about Sandbags. It's not been cleared quite yet. Molotov in. He'll swing. Good shot for Ben Leet, not the second. But he got his after all. 3 versus 3. The utility for M80 quite low. Party Astronauts now have their op on lock in towards heaven.
Smokes for 2. That's it for utility for M80. Slaxz, the only one without giving slack. Smoke drops for Ellie. That one should go towards CT. Heaven area. Bone alone. Behind that smoke as it blooms. Might actually... No, you won't have an angle. But this time, it's telegraphed. The rotations can be here. A flank can be here as well. Another re-smoke in. Viz spotted. Molotov well timed by Pone alone. No plant to come through. The Molotov taking up all of the site. Switch will top. Tucked back in behind the box, M80 as the op shot rings through. Reck's taking damage. He cannot get the kill. Somehow Reck and Swisher alive on low HP. 1 shots each. No damage taken by the Party Astronauts. Chopping to the side hall. Timing not in his favor, but he still does a considerable amount onto slaxz. All 3 players 20 or below. Smoke dropped on the ramp. Reck side hall. Swisher slaxz. Double S over towards the ramp. Pone alone backing up Viz with that op in his hand. Viz drops down behind that smoke, fakes for the pushes. There's one for Pone alone. Swisher capitalizes onto the would-be diffuser. All up to Pone alone now. Praying, holding, and not going to hold long enough. Bomb will not explode. M80 will survive, and survive it is. But they have broken the economy of Party Astronauts at least halfway. A full buy from PA. A bit risky here, especially considering their lead, Nate. A half by a lot more logical and reasonable. M80, though, they're just scraping by, grasping at straws to get their first victory, and they should be gifted a second here, given the USPs only for the CT side.
A near full save. There's some flashes bought by Sixy. They're going to have enough money for an op in the following. It makes sense for Party Astronauts. Straight push in middle. Chop finds one. Reck. Too many targets. A target-rich environment. Maybe that was a good adjustment going in towards B. The issue is they're all now pushing in through the choke point. The Molotov should beckon them forward, and it should be a killing field. Yes, it is. slaxz finding 2. Swisher repair as well. Now, very quick end to what could have been a snowball, a death ball, if Party Astronauts played things a little bit differently. But it was just USPs. You can't expect much of them. 1 kill alone was honestly more than I would have expected, all things considered.
I have to agree. I think they should be happy with the 1 kill. They get back on the buy, and that's what they wanted. Just do what damage they can, get back on a buy. Malbs is relegated to a Galil. M80, though, 2 in a row. They need to get to at least 5, I would say, Nate. To make a case for it, I would say 7 is their more likely scoreline if they want to get things going in their favor. Utility a little light for Party Astronauts here. Only 2 Molotovs, 3 HEs, an okay amount of flashes, but that utility's going to run out quickly. Chop might take some damage from that nade. No, he drops down instead. Will Minx expect the close angle? Flash goes over top. Minx is blinded. He knows there's one close. Doesn't expect the guy far. And the re-peek from Ben Leith. The rule of 2 again paying dividends for the Party Astronauts there. Chop playing off of Ben or vice versa. And the opening pick to the CT side. Ponalone aggressive. He's got a friend as well. And this double pushing from Party Astronauts continues to strangle M80.
Suffocating. No matter where you go, you can never get your even and honest 1 versus 1. Ponalone, yet another onto slaxz, who's on an island, just grasping desperately, throwing things at the wall to see what sticks, and unfortunately for him, nothing is sticking. Swisher, the last alive, he's on B stairs, they know it. They smoked him in. There are 4 players flanking him. Where's the bomb? Does he have it?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but I'm wondering why 4 of them suddenly go for the flank.
Oh,
they must have the
there's
bomb.
the bomb.
There it is. It's covered by someone's logo. That's exactly what's happening.
It's at Chop's feet.
That explains it. Swisher's going to try to save this AK for the following. If he does so, they can probably buy the next. Malbs, Reck, Manx, and slaxz all have around 2K or above, so...
It'll be second round, so 1900, I think.
It'll work. It'll work. Swisher will have like a flash and a smoke, maybe. The issue is PA is already at 6, and they're showing no signs of slowing down. They've stumbled here and there, but regardless, it's been their map. They've looked far and away the better overall.
Oh yeah, individually, team play-wise, Party Astronauts are just strikingly good right now on team play. It's been really fun to watch how they're doing this right now. Swisher goes for the opening on the Chop, though. That's the first opening pick M80 have been able to manage clean in a long time. In fact, I think ever. No damage taken in that initial duel. And finally, a good start for the T side. How did Party Astronauts respond? They're both paired up. Ponalone and Sixy, Ben and Viz. 2 more supported players over on B. 2 solid fraggers over on A. Viz jiggling, spotted out by Swish, backs away, takes a dink through the wall. He's down to 65. He'll drop a smoke. Just hold the line as M80 are sweating down that clock. They have to be careful not to burn here. Malbs up over, spots out 1. I believe they know where the next is to. No, they have not expected Ponalone sandbags. He didn't peek. Now the Molotov comes in, the op shot misses, and M80 scaling on towards the open A site. Should be able to get a free one here, a save almost imminent from Party Astronauts.
Things required at this point. This is the first time that M80 have been able to run their default without running into adversity, without running into a stack. That early opening drew 2 players to B to try and hold things down. That really kind of hamstrung the defense from there. If M80 can continue to parse apart openings like that, they might be able to force Party Astronauts out of their 2 setups, as you mentioned, that are so instrumental in the dominance that they have put up thus far.
It's just finding the one, isn't it?
Exactly. Viz has always been that one on B as well. It's typically pretty alone there. This time around it was Chop, I think, the first to fall.
It was. And what's the adaptation from PA too? Because you know PA is not just going to do the same thing over again if it's not working. They're like, okay, we got exploited. What's the change? I mean, they could still go for what they've been doing, or they can try and throw a monkey wrench in at M80. It's a bit of a gamble either way because it's that sort of mind game. I know what you're going to do, and you know what I'm going to do, and I know that you know that you know that I know. So they're going to call a timeout instead and talk this over. They don't have a lot of money either. That's the crazy thing too. It was a 6-0 lead pretty much for PA, and it was 6-1 I think, or 6-2, because that 2-round streak that was kind of sketchy for M80. The money not great for the CT side. Half buy from the looks of things here. Maybe some mid aggression with the pistols. Let the 8 rifles anchor, or even say take the ramp fight with the rifles and the pistols to B.
It's a lot of options. Kevlar pistol is the call for 60. Everybody else full saving. Chop does have a bit of utility. Should be a fourth for M80. You mentioned malbs needs to be active for M80. He is the star. He has been struggling to say the least. 3 and 7. Walk upside hall. There's 2 players peeking. And I think we're having some technical issues, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. I was wondering if it was my internet, so I just stopped talking to let Boggs take the reins. But yeah, I think we both want to start checking everything that we have and see what went wrong. But it looks like it is an issue on our production side of things. So looking back at that round, I don't think malbs lives. I'm just going to say it point blank. malbs does not live. There's going to be a double peek from above, from the side. There's no chance with 3 players bearing down on him that he survives. The question is, can the player behind him find some trades? But we can only kind of guess exactly what's going to happen. We are going back into the game, ladies and gentlemen. A very quick fix for that, and the round is still live. Manx finding Chop, 3 versus 2 for M80. Bomb yet to be planted, though, and Ben Leet and 60 are both alive with rifles in hand, both coming from CT. Ben Leet with the nade finds 1. Bomb on Manx's back, yet to be attempted in the land, and the Molotov further delaying.
Look at 60.
Round Party Astronauts could steal this away.
He's already tucked behind. He spots out both, but Reck deals with him nicely. Haven't seen much from him either this game, but he has a nice little how do you do. Ben needs 4 on the round, has 2. Drops down, they should have heard that. Makes first contact, good trade from Reck. They won't let that one slip away. It's a costly round for M80, especially against what was a bit of a half-buy from the Party Astronauts. But it was a good rotation off from M80 because malbs did not get a kill out of that round. I don't even know if he did any damage. So I don't know how the trades went on B or A ramp exactly, but the rotation back to B was a very good call from M80, and the execution from Reck in particular, able to get a 4th on the board for the T side. 2 more rounds to go in this half, an ultimate of the half. And utility is all right for Party Astronauts, actually quite decent overall, but there is some critical piece of a utility they do lack, Nate, and it costs $400.
Is not there. There's an Opera's duel at least, but Punalon's already tagged quite low. So Biz is getting tested as well. They know this player's typically alone. It's boost from Swisher. Oh, never mind. They don't go for it. Saying it would be an interesting one. It could work out. He said he'll fall back. He'll let his teammates probe towards A now. And leap. Supported by 60. Scouting around. Well, M80 again continues to run their default, getting malbs into position. Trying overall find that opening. It's been the key to success for them.
Doing their due diligence, tossing in utility. But it's only giving Party Astronauts an idea what's going on. Good fight won by 60. Peeker's advantage there as the recoil carries him up. He doubles it up and finally traded by malbs. Ben's still here, so is Pwn alone. M80 are crumbling. Slaxz comes in. He wall bangs 1, but Chop has cut down rest. Pwn alone for the last. And the worst case scenario for PA is not a bad one at all. A 7-5 worst case, but a forced by desperate from M80 here. An MP9, or MAC-10 rather, or a Tech 9 for slaxz. malbs also on the Tech. Galil for Reck. It is not good at all for M80 here on map number 1's T side. It will be a Tech for slaxz. He has done so much work for his side. His entire team, bar him combined, 19 kills. He sits at 16 alone at the top of the server. On the T side as the Opper, he needs help. And he might just small pass.
Good start. Makes a double. Ben Leet and 60 both disentrenched. Found with the cost of nothing. No one falling. Pwn alone and Chop have rotated in, sure, but it's a 3 versus 5. Going into what should be a retake at this stage. Good utility to delay the plant. Then will go down, and Reck through the smoke finds 1 to add insult to injury. M80 might have recovered here in the final round of this first half.
Alone. That off in hand. Viz as well. Tag down low up in heaven. Poet Alone. Nice little pop shot onto slaxz, playing whack-a-mole. This time the mole has won. Poet Alone's still up at the headshot angle. He jumps up top of it, though. He's looking for all he can find. The flash is buying time. Spots ahead, but all moves his own. And Viz, the last alive, will fall to Reck. It's a 7-5 half as we hit the break.
Difficult start for M80 on their own map pick of Vertigo. It's Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the microphone. M80, Party Astronauts. They faced off yesterday on this very same map as the opener. And M80 on their T side started things off with an 8-4 lead before heading into the second half. This time they aren't even in the lead. It's 7-5 in favor of Party Astronauts. They seem to have figured out a lot of the hijinks which M80 put up on the T side yesterday, and I put most of those issues to bed. The question is, can M80 have the very same reads, or will this map instead slip the way of Party Astronauts? I feel like this might be a 2-0 series in their favor. Utility for Ben, Leet, and Sixy in this round. No dualies, no upgraded pistols, just USPs, Glocks, utility, and a kit for the CT side.
4 players here to defend B with the mid-rotations. Blocks charging in, though, but Swisher has a pair. He burns alive, but that's well worth it. Biz, however, picks up 2 as well. That means it's a man advantage for Party Astronauts. Counting that flame kill from Sixy, slaxz and Malb to try and bring this one back in. Malb's taking taps, not doing any damage. slaxz moving in through jump. will drop on down eventually. There is one deep stairs too. That kit will have to be recovered. Reck, or rather Viz, he peeks out. Ben is around the sight box. Brilliant from malbs. He looks for the kit. He has found it. He can hold it. Does he have the distance? Can he get headshot? Danny's coming up the stairs. Time is not a factor here anymore. The Glock will not connect. Rush shots from 60. And I don't even know if he had the right angle there for the hitboxes. Either way, malbs comes up with a huge clutch despite falling in the end. A massive round for malbs and for M80. A critical pistol round going into this second half.
60 a bit too patient there. And malbs, his legs were feeling the burn at the end of that session of squats. You could tell going very slow, barely making it back up to form. But a win is a win, even if it costs all 5 players' lives. Party Astronauts, though, are spurned on by that near success. They're going to go for Galil's, an AK, and a MAC-10. M80. A very rifle-heavy buy, much like what we saw from Party Astronauts in the first half, second round. 2 FAMASs, 2 M4s, and the MP9. And one of those FAMASs did find the opening as well. Pone alone dropped. That is the heavy hitter of Party Astronauts, taken down early on.
There's still a few more that can be heavy hitters, but everyone on PA, aside from Pone alone, relatively close. malbs up close. He's got no HP. He's just got to play off his distraction. There's a nice headshot on the pen. There is a trade from slaxz as well, who doubles it up. And what? Where did? Oh, we lost Viz.
Technical problem. Yeah, we had a technical problem. I heard the tick in chat. It was after the first kill, so it was not going to reset the round. We are coming back to us briefly, as it appears this game has been marred by technical problems. A delay to start, another technical issue in the middle somewhere, and of course now this. But a nice double from slaxz in that round for M80 keeps it rather confident. I think 3, if not 4 players surviving. That means they should have a decent enough economy. It should send Party Astronauts to a save, and M80 might have a way to at least tie this up and potentially steal back the momentum from Party Astronauts after that difficult first half.
Yeah, it's unlucky for Party Astronauts to lose Viz, but I don't think it would have changed the outcome of that round very much. They just lost their fights. They got mowed down. M80 looking confident on the defense. But I think Party Astronauts, they can have a little bit of confidence. They got 7 rounds out of their CT side. Yes, they lost pistol, but it was close. This last round, not so close, unlike what M80 did to them in that first half. But they can still go for the save this round, go for the buy. It's 8-7. It's still anybody's game. 5 rounds would be separating M80 from victory. 6 for Party Astronauts. It's neck and neck. There's still plenty of opportunity for Party Astronauts to steal this one away. And for M80, you have to think there's a lot of pressure on them, too. It's their map pick. They're underperforming, you would say, considering that first half. But, folks, we're going to cut to the break here. It looks like this technical delay is going to take a bit longer, so stick around. Stay tuned. We'll be back with the conclusion of that. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, we are going to stay here and go back into the game pretty quickly.
The game is live. We're rolling with it. We're rolling with the punches. As are the players, I'm sure. Party Astronauts, as we talked about, on a save, only with a couple kills in that round. No bomb plan to fill the coffers. M80. Solid amount of rifles and an MP9. That's a good start from Viz. Running by with the P250 to tag down one, but redundancy is there for the defense. Makes spamming the smoke and do no wrong with the USP. malbs an unsuppressed A1S. Just an A1, in fact. And that A1S of Swisher, belabored fight, but one. malbs a nade to finish it off. A very odd round, all things considered. Not sure why malbs was letting it bark. He has a new read that we weren't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, it's working out well here for M80, who very well played with the double up there. But now Party Astronauts can go on the buy, Nate. Now we can see Party Astronauts on the full buy, the full investment, everything they want and need. It's going to be fun to see what they can do here. Utility flying in, nade goes deep, does no real damage at all to Ben or 60. That MP9 can still be dangerous though if it's in a close range angle. So it's out out towards mid. Those rotation more the call. Ben tagged down low. malbs goes for a bit of a spam, drops a smoke instead, which Ben may slip in front of. He'll do just that. malbs spots him, but he will swing out wide, win that one running around, but slaxz comes in to back him up. Retreats to sandbags as Makes will join the party out towards ramp. Double for no damage in return. That's a good start for M80.
Very solid start. The opponent, though, will rear his ugly head, and he's making it look pretty as well. A pair of kills on the malbs, and slaxz swings things back to even footing with reck on only a MP9 as well. This could teeter back into the favor of PA. It will now press towards the ramp. M80 totally vacating their advanced positioning. Just a player below the jump up and 2 on B. Swisher and reck expecting a B play. That smoke, though, should betray the plans of the T side. Nice top smoke to masquerade the crossing. Makes will be fortunate because of that new smoke volumetrics, allowing for that to smoke multiple angles that wouldn't otherwise in CSGO. Plant from Biz down on default. Won't be challenged too vehemently either. 3v3 retake with reck on the MP9, but reck at least has this flank as a possibility.
Flank is there. The retake needs to be on. reck needs to make a move. Time stick down low. Good spray from Mank. Spots out the player in sandbags as well. Chop pops in, but he's the last alive. He's shut down by the in-game leader of M80. And it will be their round. They're 4th in a row on the CT side. A little bit more nerve-wracking this time around. The bomb plant will keep Party Astronauts in terms of a bye. But my good man Nate, this is looking good for M80 now. They're starting to stabilize. They're forcing another timeout out of Party Astronauts, who are not able to really get too much ground going on this T side. Maybe M80 just took a bit to start up the engine, but now they're getting up to speed.
Maybe. I do also feel this is a case of a heavy anti-strat. Keep in mind these teams played yesterday, this very same map, knowing it was probably going to be played again, and knowing that they were going to face off head-to-head first thing in the morning. I have to imagine there was a hefty amount of anti-stratting leading to this kind of CT affair, because this is a normally T-sided map. It's a T-sided map for both of these teams, and now they're suddenly finding their footing on the defense. That just reeks of hard reads and inclinations being read by the coaching staff and by the players in a post-game strat session.
There goes a molly up. Does nothing. Slow round right now. No real contact made by either side. malbs spots that one. Will drop the molly, presumably. There it goes, and it'll stop anybody trying to boost up on the sandbags by more time as we tick under the minute mark. No real aggression, though, from M80. They're not probing, they're not prodding, they're just delaying, they're stalling. They're forcing Party Astronauts back into a B execute. There's still one in mid. A fast rotation can be there from malbs as well, or from Manx on site. Swisher jiggling, drops that smoke. 38 seconds on the clock. PA will need to move. Viz will pop. He'll be spotted before the smoke blooms. And Swisher will spray him down. Goes for more, but no dice. Goes back again. So much damage being dealt by Swish on side boxes. Reck has yet to reveal himself. He swings out for a pair. Looks for 3, but it's actually Swisher to take 2. Making a hat trick for him. He holds the line well. Podalone tries to be the hero, but he gets knocked to the ground. M80 flawless on the CT side. 5 in a row. And off the back of the timeout, no bomb plan for PA. Means no full investment. A force buy or a half buy, their only options. And a half buy seems to be more prudent, but they're running out of racetrack.
Yes, they are. M80 really relying on their operator like that. Sure, he didn't have much impact in terms of kills, but he was alone in middle. That allowed 2 players to set up on B, dedicated to B. That was Reck and Swisher, and they completely shut down the take. Very well done from the defense to read into that. Party Astronauts now trailing by 3 with only pistols and nothing to show for this T side beyond a very close pistol round that honestly should have gone their way, all things considered.
I agreed. Probably should have. It is what it is in the end. Malbs will farm a few. Manx will be there to back him up. I thought Malbs was going to get 3 there. He only got 2. Bought alone, 20 HP. Chop it, 100. Still not really likely Party Astronauts can even get a bomb plant out of this one. Too many players holding the A site. M80 had pretty much given up the B side, though. Just wish you're holding from jump up, keeping an eye on both mid and B. Interesting choice there. Holy moly, they push the pistols? They push the pistols, and they bring it to a 2v2.
Delivered some weapons on a silver platter as well. Makes this much more scary proposition. slaxz, the Opper, looking to put any weariness to bed, though. Finds one over the top. Chop. In the sea of smoke. So at least negotiate his way onto site. He'd be expected. The Opper's holding. The Opper does not miss at point blank. Some BM for good measure. 11-7 M80 do rein things back in, and the good news is they do have a rather deep pocket. They can easily reinvest into rifles across the board. 11-7. Third tactical timeout forced out of Party Astronauts. It is rifles in hand, then it is do or die. They lose this round, they don't get the bomb plant. The buy in the following is going to be less than ideal. And in addition to that, it will be map point. M80 turned a corner once they entered the CT side. Showed us that both teams have done their homework when it comes to this rematch.
Well, there is one window here for Party Astronauts. And they're going to give it their best shot. Timeout, full buy, utility on everything. Ben? Yeah, you can get the AK in full util. Realizes that now. The sell back feature has been huge for changing up buys, changing up ideas on the fly. We see Ben getting a better gun because of it. Nade goes in, does a little bit of chip damage, but not enough to really be too much of a factor here, especially considering the man holding B has an AK, and the headshot is going to be a one-shot anyways. Molotov is prepped and ready. He'll counter the molly with one of his own. But time still there for Party Astronauts. Plenty of it at 1:27. But nade. Party Astronauts need to explode somewhere. They need to get the bomb down. They need to have a good round. If they don't, it's looking like curtains and a very confident return to form for a
Return to form. Rebuttal. And not a CT-setted map the first time they met up yesterday. Boost up from M80, again showing us a wide array of defensive strategies they have in their utility belt, in their
like
strat book. And I do love this one as well. Bot comes in, 60 those ready for it, jumping up, looking the right direction. Malbs beheaded. Now the second player, side hall, is marooned and alone. Makes the smoke, finds one. He gets a bullet in return from Chop. Man advantage remains. Plant secure. The Molotov won't delay that thanks to the smoke. slaxz, though, does tie it up with a shot through the smoke onto the retreating Chop. Post-plant positions are in effect for Party Astronauts, but M80 looking scary with their prized jewel in slaxz, still ready to fire off some deathly blows.
More utility being used here by Party Astronauts buying time. Fizz goes 1-for-1, times in the low, but somehow Pono doesn't get the shot all the way through. Ben bails him out. slaxz is gone one way or another. He's trying to take him with him. And I don't think Pono will be the only one left alive now. Ben couldn't get up fast enough, and I think he still might have been dead, even if he didn't get up there, just because he took damage. The way the damage affects you when you've taken a little bit is kind of crazy. But in the end, Party Astronauts, they win a critical round. They could not afford to lose it. M80 now buying to the bottom of their banks. And that little boost, that's the problem with it. If you don't have somebody towards side hall, you can get caught by the player pushing up ramp like 60 did right there. You're going to be watching for it. Everyone knows that boost exists, and it's just the gamble that M80 took, and they lost it.
The issue is you have to have somebody at the other side of ramp to punish if they jump up looking at you. That's a requirement. That is a requirement of 3 players towards A, which is a hefty investment for only 1/2 of the map, or even less than half, I should say. Reck and slaxz answer that out. Chop, Ben, Leet, and Pwn alone find 1 apiece. 2 versus 3 in the blink of an eye. A flurry of kills everywhere on the map. malbs and Swisher, the last remaining. malbs alone towards A, will swing into the op, and he will grab the bomb. He ties up the man count. Ben Leet is lit, and he has the bomb at his feet. Viz will isolate Swisher, albeit at the cost of a hefty chunk of his own HP. But malbs, he's woken up individually, and he now has a 1 versus 2 that is very winnable thanks to that bomb, which is near him and not near his adversaries.
The HP is a massive factor, though. malbs, he only has to hit Ben once, Viz twice, and he's won this. He has an HE and a Molotov as well. So much opportunity for the man in the 1v2. The Guatemalan All-Star has rotated all the way to B. He's going the long way around. He's playing the long con here. And he'll walk just before they can hear him. Well played by malbs. He's going to hear this noise back towards A as well. Look at the time left, too. A Molotov on the site delays the plant. He'll see that. Nade will actually be the one to go out first. That might just do it. No, it won't. The smoke is down. malbs sees the first. And Ben, behind that Molotov, can get the bomb down on 5 points of health. He is hemorrhaging away. But he still might have a way to pull this back. 1 headshot is all he needs. malbs creeps around, expecting somebody around the smoke. He'll make noise when he drops. He'll run down. It's a side hall plant. malbs does have double flashbangs. Hops down, holds the bomb. He's looking for a peek. Ben is holding. He's playing chicken, and he's going to lose. malbs drops his gun to make some noise. He's just big brain this one, mate. malbs with another ninja. He goes down to the end, but it does not matter. Map point to M80. And malbs with the biggest of plays there. That one takes a lot of cojones.
A lot. A 10-second defuse. The first one was 5 seconds. It made sense with the off angle he was defusing from. The second one, the 10-second, relies on respect, and he cashes in all the respect tokens he's been given through the years. A 10-second defuse to mean mug M80 into a map point on their own map pick. 12-8, both teams on the end of their economic rope. Both teams making concessions in this round. 2 FAMASs, a lack of utility, no kit, and a Galil for Viz. It's going to be an ugly, brawly round. Number 21. M80 are not dissuaded from getting aggressive. 2 players inside hall. 2 players on the ramp. And Mankspeak again is the one to find the opener. Falling back. He's happy with that. He set up his teammate aggressively down below as well. M80 looking incredibly good on this A-side defense. 60 though. He expects malbs in that corner. He takes him down. He ties it back up. Party astronauts aren't done with this party as of yet.
Party astronauts, Pwn alone makes it 2. In comes Chop to cut down Reck, and Swisher in a 1v4 will have nothing to do with this round. He'll be saving. We'll wait for that bomb to go tick, tick, boom, and we'll go again. M80 unable to close it. A fast response from Party astronauts. They needed to. Pwn alone, he's been the hero. It's been the oppers, really, for both sides that have been the heroes for the most part. malbs with a couple of big ninjas, but slaxz 24-14, Pwn alone 22-14, both keeping pace with the other. And I was excited to see the oppers duel here between these two. We haven't really seen it too much against each other, but as far as the stats are concerned, these two are going pound for pound, blow for blow, leading from the front. And it's good to see the 2 oppers having this kind of an impact on a map like Vertigo on CS2.
They're
but who's going to be the hero who helps them?
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
It's not like CS2 hopping where you're more passive, you're holding wide angles to try and hit shots. You're spearheading, you're pushing forward, you're being that opener where you're holding down a sight line. A commanding sight line at that, a contested sight line. It's refreshing to see given how long it's been absent.
It really is. It's so nice to see. And well, as it stands, it's pistols out for M80. They can win on a pistol round like this. It is possible given the 5-7 and the deagle. Swisher still with that saved FAMAS. It's not likely, but it's a 404s from M80. They're going all in here. Only Swisher saving because he's had that saved gun. He doesn't need to reinvest. Could have bought some utility, but I guess they are going to have him drop the op over to slaxz in round 24 would be my guess if they don't win it here. In comes the BU till though. Good due diligence here from Party Astronauts. Out goes Swisher 1 for 1. There's still more to come through. Swisher will not be cleared! He won't be cleared and he will not be denied! He picks up 3 and he's still alive and kicking. Malbs falls to Chop. It's a fast run away to A from Party Astronauts. But Swisher swipes away the B stairs push. And the retake will be on for M80. Swisher might have been a bit quiet throughout this tournament so far, but he pops up at the biggest moments, makes with one more. It's up to Ben, the in-game leader. He's got the first, but can he find the next 2? Utility over, the peak, the spray, and Ben Leet converts them both. We're going to another round. Huge individual efforts from both Swisher and Ben. Massive 3 pieces, and somehow, some way, we end with one surviving that round.
Swisher, a heads-up play to peek off contact. You'd expect him to fall back after fighting the first, given the corner he was on. Yet he slinks forward, crouched, confident they won't clear him if he can get there quickly enough. And it does pay dividends. It does net 3 with no damage taken. However, even when swinging together, the spray transfer is a possibility. Party Astronauts, a tremendous clutch coming in from the IGL. Ben Leet answering the call when they need him most, when things seem most dour. And now M80 are forced onto the full save. It's USPs across the board. They will find one Malbs. I'm not sure how he got there. Pushing up the side hall perhaps. A free one on the 6C, but Party Astronauts, there's no one else towards A. They're all going towards middle or towards B. Malbs rotating as fast as his legs can carry him, but how much can he do with an AK with no armor?
I mean, he got an AK with a USP no armor, so theoretically more. Chop cut down 1.5, he'll get 2. So Malbs can do no further, nothing with the AK, but only 1 with the USP. Bomb will go down here, and it should be a relatively clean round from here on out for Party Astronauts. They shouldn't surrender too much more. Chop could be dinked down, and that is a bit of an issue, but realistically, he shouldn't be fighting anyways. There's no reason to hunt the pistol. Swisher goes over the side. I believe Ben blocked him. And while that'll add to the casualty count, I believe we'll see 15 on the sign and T-spawn going into this next round. But this one ends as we expected, Nate. It's going to be 11 for Party Astronauts. We go the full distance here. 24 rounds, minimum, here on map number 1. Game number 1 of the day. Evil geniuses watching this one, waiting to see who their opponent will be. And you have to wonder if you're EG, which team you want to play more.
Good question. They're kind of prepared for both, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, back in my hockey days when we played tournaments, we had teams we would rather play than other teams.
Oh, of course, but...
And I'm wondering who EG think that is. Just, it gives me a big psychological insight, and unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that. And I really wish I did.
I would say Party Astronauts because they've already played them, and it was a 2-0 the last time they met up.
At the same time, you don't want to play a team you've already beaten in the same tournament because then they have a lot more, not only information on you, but they have a little more of that mental edge, that chip to get revenge.
On the shoulder, I suppose, yeah. Party Astronauts slowing things down. Not keen to give away the opening. There are ops for both teams. Own alone, slaxz taking up their respective weapons. To happen neck and neck on the scoreboard. Reck on a FAMAS rather than an M4. That's unfortunate, but it gives him some utility. He also has 500 in the bank, Boggs, which is confusing because there's no kit in play for M80.
Oh, Reck. The youth is shining for Reck. Not in a good way. They line up. Oh, boy.
That's awkward. But it goes back and forth. It's still a 3 versus 3. Chop the op. All three, in fact, pressing forward. Reck finds one. It's ugly. Ponalone 1, Ponalone 2. The Tech 9 in hand. Nets the advantage. Just Swisher up close. They could line up for him, but no. They find the kills. Viz gets the final, and it is 12-12, Boggs. We are going to overtime.
Overtime here. 7-5 halves for both sides. M80 had 4 map points. 12-8. This one is just really getting more and more wacky.
Now the question is, do you favor M80 because technically they won more CT sides, or do you favor Party Astronauts because they've come back into it? Who has them on the rest of this game?
I favor neither team. I think this is as close to a coin flip as we've seen all tournament.
It's fair. And as the unbiased broadcasting crew, I just hope both teams have fun.
I got friends on both sides. This one, it's like, whoever wins, I'll be happy.
Also an equally fair point. Lots of utility damage. Good amount done to Ben Leet. Spotted. Makes though not a clean duel. He does win it. Malbs finds the second inside hall. They press forward. Ponalone no scopes with the op. Finds one, but Malbs trades with Viz. Ponalone 1 for 1. Leaving just Chop alone. He's trade his position, spamming away at Malbs. Can't quite get the kill. A 1v3 seems like too tall a task for him, despite his okay stats thus far. Flank from Swisher. Not going to overextend. Chop. It's truly desperate times when you're fake flashing with a flash.
Yep.
Swisher's closing the gap. At this point, it should be sealed. Pressing forward. Doesn't pass the first test. Slaxz on the wide swing. Gets the headshot on the A4. They grab the op as well. M80, a tenuous lead reestablished with one on the CT side of overtime.
It was a solid play there from M80. Some big spray downs from Malbs, who's starting to heat up as well later into this game. I think we've seen Party Astronauts kind of cool down as Vertigo has continued, while M80 have gotten hotter and hotter, particularly Malbs and Swisher starting to show up in big moments. Party Astronauts could use a little bit more, though, I would think, from the likes of 60 or Viz in particular, who's still below double-digit kills. But M80 are getting a little bit swifty with it. Swisher down around the stairs smoke. Looking for a victim here. He might even get a gift onto Viz. There's going to be a group up between Pone, Ben, and Viz here. 60's going to be late to the party. But Viz peeks early. He's going to go down. This is not even a 1-for-1 for Swisher. He can pick 2 or 3. He has a lineup there, but he only gets the 1. Utility needs to follow this up for the CT side. There it goes. Nate does some more damage onto Ben Leet. But the rotations have to come through. Utility flying in. Flashes, smokes. One onto Mank's position over towards jump up. He will sit on it, expecting some sort of mid-angle. That's a bit of a nifty little push through that smoke, too. Maybe guys stop vision if somebody was to push there. They're all going up the stairwell, all onto the site, and slaxz hits that first one he needed. Reck sprays away, damage onto one, kill onto another, and slaxz doubles it up. Reck with the tap, and it will be M82 straight on this overtime half of CT side. They get 3. It's going to be massive.
It would be huge given the fact that they just choked what was like 4 rounds in a row on this CT side to get us to overtime. A resounding return to form. They put that out of their minds. They mentally reset in that incredibly brief amount of time. And now they have a chance to clean sweep it. Ops for slaxz and Ponalone. Rifle surrounding, running not an issue. Dixie at ramp, in the corner, hoping to find an opening. Malbs Tempted to press down side hall. We've seen him called out here before. The question is, who wins this duel? Is it slaxz again, or will it be malbs once the smoke fades?
slaxz plays this angle on the CT side, but it's chopped to get felled first. slaxz actually doubles it up. malbs win or loses that fight to slaxz, but slaxz has a third. Manx with another. The trade onto slaxz. And Viz, this one is getting worse and worse for Party Astronauts here as they look to be shut out of this first half of OT1. M80. Oh boy, I don't know how Viz doesn't get the first two taps there. Maybe it's a tiny bit too far to the right, but
those were his invincibility frames, Boggs. It's the new ability. You wouldn't get it.
Oh, we have abilities now?
Yeah. Catch up with the times, old man.
I'm pretty sure you're technically older than me.
Technically, I am older than you. Make no mistake.
Like
There's no technicality about that. It's like 3 months.
Old man.
Okay. 15-12, M80, 3 map points on their own map. It is Vertigo. They're on the T side, the normally favored side, not so much favored in this bout. But with boon that was those 3 rounds in a row, they should hopefully be able to ride that high to a map victory. I say that Pwn alone drops Reck, Viz over top smoke, drops Swisher. 3 versus 5, malbs just spammed away, Viz can do no wrong. Lost that duel in the round prior to win that one here and now. 2 before finally falling. Manx and slaxz, the last 2. The IGL and the op. Both have had solid individual performances thus far in this map, but 2 versus 4 seems like too tall a task. They will pressure up the stairs. Chop backside has the AUG in hand. There's an op watching the cross as well. slaxz. It's a tumultuous crossing to negotiate. Peeking in for the op. Smokes. White. Large. Boom large in the sight. slaxz a missed opportunity onto 1. Manx will right the wrong, finding 1. Still 3 more to find. Good flash doesn't. slaxz and Pwn alone combines with slaxz for the final pair. slaxz and Manx done in. Party Astronauts passing the first of now 3 hurdles required to get to more overtime.
First hurdle, but still 2 more to clear, and they get more and more difficult as the time wears on. Pwn alone, nearing the 30 bomb. slaxz has hit that notion. 20 for Manx, 19 for malbs, 18 for Swisher. malbs back towards a ramp. Looking to get a little bit of work done. Maybe a bit of revenge onto slaxz. He's playing a little bit more far back. He's towards the sandbags this time. Doesn't want to play the same angle too many times in a row. Understandable. Swisher eats that nade. slaxz takes 1 as well. Nade to go deep. Oh no, he's blowing up the smoke here. Doesn't go deep enough, so we can't see all the way through. Probably saves his life, though. I think slaxz was trained on that position, expecting some sort of zany hijinks, a little smoke shenanigans, and we still have a 5v5 with 1:04 on the clock.
Slow around. Party Astronauts not looking to overextend on their defense. M80 looking to keep their side of choice rather obscure for as long as possible. Reck. The execute nade's now thrown as well. 2 players grouping up on the site, slaxz and Pwn alone. The third towards elevator now rotating in as well. That's Chop on the AUG. I love to see the AUG in play as well. Off angle for slaxz is good for 1. Swisher, however, trades it. It's a short-lived victory, a short-lived advantage. 4 versus 4. The Molotov, though, perfectly timed. Prevents the bomb from going down. 15 seconds left. Re-smoke's thrown. And the op duel taken. Pwn alone tagged, but not taken down through the wall. Plant finally going down, hitting dirt. It's going to be a 4 versus 4. 1-for-1 Chop for Pwn alone. Ben Leet finds another. Ben Leet doubles it down through the sandbags, leaving just Reck on the ramp, and his spray cannot connect. 14-15, Party Astronauts hanging on. And now looking to send us off to a second bout of overtime. One more victory will get us there.
Chop and Ben, some big kills to bring that one back for a retake. And we are one round away from double overtime, Nate. That's going to bring us into what used to be OT1 in the old days of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Here we have a full 30-round game, which we don't get to see all that often anymore. Og for Chop, Op for both Ponelone and for slaxz, who won that Opper's duel twice the last round. It's not often you could say you've won an Opper's duel twice in one round against the same guy.
It's not. It's the next ability, Bob. So we're learning slowly.
Next thing we know, there's going to be resurrections. Giant orbital strikes. Sprays onto the side. Somehow Chop and Viz are still alive, and they've got kills out of it as well. A lineup for Malbs. He's almost out of ammunition. One in the magazine. He will get cut before the reload comes through. Reck, 2 HP. The nade will finish him off. It's up to slaxz in the 1v3 for victory or OT2. Flashbang dodge. No peeking. Drops down. Noise made. Up on the angle. Rifle on the other side. One and no trade yet. Oh, he's got the right idea. Does he spot Chop? Yes, he does. Or rather, 6. He has an idea where Ben is as well. 6. He catches him on the ring around the rosy. And it's pocket full of posies for slaxz as he falls down. 15 all. OT2.
Clean sweep answered by a clean sweep. 3 on the CT for 3 on the CT. Party Astronauts will not go down easily. That has been, what, 7 map points against them that they have lost? Or they have won, excuse me?
Yep.
7 trials answered. They will step up when called upon. M80, find a T round, please. Find one of these next 3, you're golden, or you should feel golden. If you can find 2, would be all the better. slaxz start things off well. Sig C dispatched over top smoke. Malb was getting a lot of control as well towards side hall. A little bit more assertive now on this T side are M80, and I'd love to see it. A bit of a change. So have to be weary of Ponelone on the op. It's down towards heaven. That was spotted by Manx. He did stutter step there. Ponelone won't get a clean duel either versus the op. Molotov forces him out. slaxz wins that duel. M80 punishing the aggressive press in the side alone. Good flash, but Manx is ready. Manx doubles it up. And where was this M80 in the round prior, or even the last 3 rounds? They make it a clean and flawless one. 16-15 in the first round of overtime, too. And again, where was this in the last 3 rounds?
Well, it took the lads from Deutschland and Denmark to really pop off and get him the round victory. slaxz with the double entry on the op of all things, then Manx with the cleanup on the rest of the 3 remaining Party Astronauts players. Where was this? Across the Atlantic Ocean, apparently, Nate.
At least it's here now.
But for how much longer? I think that 1 round is huge, though. That gives M80 a bigger foundation, given the fact that both teams clean swept on their own CT sides. An OT1.
One more. Blows. It's an awkward duel, but it's a duel. It's won by both of them. Ponelone finds 160 a second. Reck finally answers. It's an answer of only 1. Awkward duels at the end of ramp. Good advantage for Party Astronauts, but this round is still far from over.
Ollie to side hall. Wow, never mind. It's a flank from Viz that pops early. Chop is here as well. It's a great read from Party Astronauts, getting a little aggressive, thinking, hey, this is taking a long time. We've seen nothing be. We might as well go for a bit of an information push. They take it slow and steady, and it wins the race, at least for 1. slaxz, though, answers it back at Swisher now in a 1v2. He has a good idea that there is a second player down the ramp, but does he pull out his gun in time? Chop's holding close left. Swisher, knife out. He's not expecting that! Down he falls. Tie game at 16 all. And of course, it's overtime. Both teams will be able to buy up, although Ponelone will have to get dropped to the op this time.
Does at least receive it, though. The off duels have been crazy. slaxz is at 35 kills. He's beginning to pull away from Ponelone. Now 6 kills between them. Both teams, of course, solid buys given that it's overtime. Viz challenging ramp, takes himself out of the round. And malbs furthers it, pressing up side of hole. One secured, half onto Ben Leet as well. And M80 taking the fight to their opponents, but that might be a little bit too aggressive. Manx caught again by the op. Pwn alone this time towards the sandbags. And M80 pivoting back immediately thereafter. Chop, he was on B. He's now actually holding middle instead. Weary of the flank. Smart call, go for the retake as a unit, as a trio. Let M80 get that bomb on the ground.
Bomb goes down as Swisher pushes down the stairs. There is one player heading his direction in Ben Lead. Slaxz is holding the line on the side. He has really picked up the pace here. His marquee performance since he's come over to North America, I would say, in this map. Been absolutely phenomenal. Expected a more supporting op, but he's definitely been pushed into situations where he has to take initiative. Swisher killed by Ben. Reck and slaxz, though, equal it out. It's Poland alone, the last alive. And Reck on the spray converts that in the end. A lead going to the CT half for M80. Can they finally close this one out? God, that is the rhetorical question of rhetorical questions right now.
Yes, they've had bigger leads, and they've also squandered bigger leads. This one feels different, but it could just be a little bit of caster coat. M80 looking very confident, assertive, aggressive, but not overly so. It had solid reads. Their op of slaxz has continued its ascension in the scoreboard. Party Astronauts, sure, they've done well to hang on, but they've never put themselves in a pole position, and that is the critical factor.
Only that first half.
Yeah, that first half they looked good, but it's never been an outright winning position. They've always been coming back from behind when it matters. When we're on map point, it's always M80, the one's closest to scoring. Slaxz again left alone in the middle to his own devices, finds three. Spotted by the fourth, finally done in, but finally is the key word there. He held on for so long, he found three. And in the meanwhile, his team found a fourth. That was malbs dropping one. The last alive is Chop. He was in middle. Sure, he did drop the op. He dropped the Juggernaut. But he still has the bulk of the M80 squadron to find. With this advanced position from malbs, it does not seem possible. Malbs is on shadow. Malbs! What? Caught looking. Chop, okay. Second secured. Still, three seems near impossible. Bomb is on his back, sure, but with 45 seconds left and again, no support. It's a tall task.
It is a tall task. He lost his teammate while he was fighting out for that trade onto slaxz. But at least he has found two. He needs three more, and Manx is low. He is the lone man here on A. But Chop's running out of time, and he's got to get the bomb down pretty soon. Manx is just going to play for the plant. He doesn't need to move before then. Molotov in his hands. Smoke will go down for Chop. That's going to be all the noise Manx needs. Molotov out. Manx swings. Spots. Time enough for a plant. No HE to stop it. But in comes the convergence of M80 players, and it's Manx up top to get the final one of the round. More map points for M80. Will they finally close it out, Nate?
Don't jinx it. Don't address the elephant in the room. Don't address the funny sound at the start of every round. It's just another normal round. Another cool time with the boys for M80, okay? Don't even mention the line.
I can't address the elephant, but can I address the Oliphant?
Isn't that an actor?
No, it's what Lord of the Rings refers to elephants as.
Oh, I was thinking Tim Oliphant, the guy in The Mandalorian. Yeah. He is an actor. I knew it.
Huh.
malbs pressuring down again. Confidence from M80. 60 finds one. malbs finds the trade, and he knows where two more are. The issue is Pwn alone is crispy on the op. He maintains a tenuous advantage for Party Astronauts off the back of the opener from 6C. Manx, though, still knows there's a player marooned in the corner, and Swisher, in the meanwhile, is taking away Chop to tie things back up. It's going to be a migration around down below towards B, but Swisher is here, and he will not miss. Viz dispatched the op opponent and will now take a chance at bat. No, instead the Molotov will actually keep him at bay. The two old dogs, Pwn alone, Ben leaked the IGL, the op. against 3/5 of the M80 squad. Reck, Swisher, Manx. Party Astronauts doubling back now. It's going to be an A play. Both inching forward on the ramp. Manx is here again, just tucked in heaven, this time on full HP. He has support from Reck, who's dividing his attention between A and elevator middle.
Poe Alone's op might need to be the spear point. The utility double molly, that's got to be a miscom, surely. There's a molly to stop a bomb plant here from M80. The smoke will extinguish. Out they'll swing. Manx running down. Poe Alone, he gets sprayed in the smoke. Bentley 1v3 for survival. He's done it before, but he needs to do it again. It's not Malb with the bomb this time. It might be Reck, but Swisher will secure the round. 19-16, double overtime victory on the map pick of M80 for M80. Oh, it took a long time, way too long. M80, they came so close and eventually put it over the line, but Party Astronauts just sticking around like a bad cough. They finally got purged, but Nate, Party Astronauts throughout the bulk of